My first strength was my ability to handle the buyer's objection in a way that kept him interested in our product despite him having a negative feeling on the price. Using the translation and boomerang technique, I was able to turn his reason not to buy into a reason why he should want to buy. The buyer said, "I agree we lose money when our equipment goes missing, but I feel that the price of your equipment is just too much for our company." I was able to see where he was coming from, but responded with saying, "Our equipment is expensive, yes, but thinking in the long run, you will not be losing equipment, which will cut your replacement cost almost down to zero." I was able to convey a message to him by explaining that the on-track system is expensive, but over the course of the first few months, it will essentially repay itself in the sense that there are no replacement costs on equipment. This explanation then allowed us to move on to the next step in the sales process. My second strength was gaining a commitment from the buyer by using the continuous yes close method. This method is a way of framing questions in a way that yes is always the answer and the buyer gets into a habit of saying it. I asked close-ended questions to help the buyer recognize his needs and would then have him agree that the benefits of on-track would easily satisfy the need he agreed to. After a series of questions where I received a yes in a positive manner about our product, the close came naturally and we both could tell that the on-track system was something that their company wanted. My first weakness is from me going out of order when trying to follow the sales process. I was somewhat unfamiliar with the sales process, but using the ADAPT questioning system would have helped me stay on track. Using the ADAPT questioning system during the sales process would have benefited not only me but the buyer as well by helping us understand what his real needs were and how the on-track system could satisfy their needs. I often found myself asking activation questions right away rather than assessing his needs. One example of this was when I asked the buyer, "When you misplace tools, how does that affect your equipment expense?" without first asking if they even find themselves misplacing tools. My second weakness came from me not using multiple questioning styles, which led me to assume that what the buyer needed rather than finding a specific needs. Using open-ended questions such as, "Can you describe the process your business goes through when equipment is misplaced?" would have further helped me understand their struggles with tracking inventory. Only using closed-ended questions such as, "Do you find it troubling misplacing equipment in your business?" resulted in the buyer answering with a yes or no to almost all of my questions and felt like we were mostly rushing through the sales process. Secondly, using probing questions would have helped me understand the buyer's needs for a technology system like ours to help track their equipment. I went into the meeting assuming that they would be ready to purchase our on-track system without asking the buyer questions such as, "How long have you guys had an issue with losing equipment or realizing you needed a new way of tracking inventory?" to understand that they truly could use our systems.